All right, hey everybody, it is Yanni Hamburger back with the Macabre Tavern, and our 31 Days of Halloween continues. Today we're going under the sea for today. That's right, sea creature horror is what we're going to do. Now, of course, a lot of people say that probably fits more into science fiction than actual horror, but hey, here's what it is, right? All right, so today we're going back to 1989. Yeah, a little bit more recent than some of the last offerings I've had. We're going to do a film called Leviathan. Now, this is Leviathan from 1989. It's directed by George P. Cosmatos, written by David Webb Peoples and Jeb Stewart. It stars Peter Weller, Richard Crenna, Ernie Hudson, Amanda Plays, and yes, Daniel Stern is in this movie, fresh off Home. Well, actually, this is a couple years, I believe, before Home Alone. So, yes, one half of the Wet Bandits is in this movie. How apropos. All right, so Leviathan is basically released around the same time as other deeply focused underwater movies like The Abyss and Deep Star Six. And yes, The Abyss was on the list of ideas, but I decided, there's probably going to be 1,000 people that do The Abyss. So I'm going to move over a little bit. So, what are we looking at with Leviathan? Miss Martin, the CEO of Tri-Oceanic Corp, hires geologist Stephen Beck to supervise an undersea mining operation for 3 months. The crew consists of Dr. Glenn Thompson, known as Doc, Elizabeth Willie Williams, Buzz Sixpack Parrish. What a great name, Sixpack. Justin Jones, Tony DeJesus Rodrero, Bridget Bowman, and G.P. Cobb. Now, while working outside of the deep sea working outside of the deep sea station in a pressure suit, Sixpack discovers the Soviet shipwreck Leviathan. The crew salvages a safe from the Leviathan, finding records detailing the deaths of several crew members, as well as a video log from the captain. Sixpack also finds a flask of vodka. He ends up sharing it with Bowman. This is what we in the business call foreshadowing. Doc and Beck review the captain's video, which describes puzzling medical problems amongst his crew, and they also discover that the Leviathan was scuttled. For those of you who don't know what the term scuttled means you purposely sink the ship. They do that to a lot of old ships to create false reefs and the like. Well, the following morning, Sixpack feels sick. Yeah, didn't see that coming, did you? And Doc discovers lesions among his back. A few hours later, Sixpack dies. Yes. Doc and Beck want to keep it quiet to avoid a panic. Doc checks the crew to confirm no one else is sick, but does not have the chance to examine Bowman, who, by the way, was the other person who drank the vodka. I think you know where this is going. While Beck and Doc confer with Martin on the surface, Bowman begins feeling ill. She finds Sixpack's corpse, which is mutating and growing, and when Bowman's hair starts falling out, she realizes the same thing is happening to her. Beck and Doc request an emergency evacuation, but Martin reports a hurricane is on the surface and it will delay the evacuation for 12 hours. Doc finds that Bowman has game overed. Her body is taken to the sick bay, where it merges with Sixpack's. That's never good. When Doc and Beck discovers the mutating bodies, they decide to dump both of them into the ocean. As they're about to flush the cadavers, the body bag begins squirming. Here comes the next thing. Yeah, you can already tell. Believing someone might be alive, the crew opens it. So many ways this movie could have been prevented. The creature inside claws Cobb before they eject it. They realize that Leviathan was experimenting on its unwitting crew with mutagens containing pristine DNA, fish DNA, basically. The mutagen was mixed with the vodka that the crew and later six-pack of Bowman drank. So, of course, they think everything's okay because, hey, we got rid of the people that drank the vodka. By the way, that's how the Leviathan, or that's why the Leviathan was scuttled. A tentacle was severed when the corpses were ejected. Oh no. I'm gonna have so many tentacle enthusiasts on my YouTube page today. Welcome. I don't judge you. I just want to point that out right now. I do not judge your tentacle enthusiasm. Um, lovely octopus tattoo you have on your backside. Hope you're having a good day. You might have to. Well, a tentacle was severed while the corpses were ejected. It mutates into a lamprey-like creature that attacks the Jesus in the kitchen. Jones seals the kitchen's pressure door and goes for help. Okay, logical. He asks Cobb to watch the door. Bye, Cobb. But when he searches for a weapon, the creature assimilates to Jesus and rips its way out of the kitchen. And then it grows tentacles to attack the crew. The creature attacks the medical bay, devouring the blood and the plasma from the cooler. This inspires Beck to use a pint of his blood to attract the monster and then attempt to flush it the same way they did with Six-Pack and Bowman, or at least the creature that they became. Doc ejects the escape pod so no one can escape and risk bringing the mutagen to the surface. Beck consults with Martin for an emergency evacuation. Martin assures them that they will not be left behind, but she cannot carry out the rescue because of a hurricane. I have family that lives in Charleston, and that's how they pronounce hurricane. Don't come at me, bro. Cobb's injuries worsen, causing him to mutate and infect Doc. Williams escapes as Beck and Jones try trapping the creature. They escape to another part of the station where the crew tries accessing weather information through the computer, but mysteriously it's blocked. Wonder if there's actually a hurricane going on up there. Williams asks the computer for a financial report from the company, and they discover that Tri-Oceanic has declared them dead, labeling it an accident. As the creature damages vital systems, causing the pressure to drop and an implosion to occur, they decide to use their dive suits to escape. The creature attacks them, but is crushed by the lift as Beck escapes. They make it to the surface, which is calm and sunny. Didn't see that coming, did you? As they're met by a Coast Guard helicopter, the first mutant surfaces nearby and tries to take Jones. Jones keeps it from escaping at the cost of his own life, and Beck throws a demolition charge into the creature's mouth. Kaboom! The creature is dead. As they dropped off on a Tri-Oceanic oil drilling platform, the two survivors are greeted by Martin. Martin tells them that she believed they would make it, smiling and asking how Beck feels, and Beck did the right thing and punched her in the face. Yeah. So, this is not one of my favorite movies. I'll admit that right now. If you've seen a lot of alien movies and you've seen a lot of, The Thing, Run Silent, Run Deep, you've seen a lot of, this is basically another one of your cliche, everybody on board is stupid. Leave it to the two morons to figure out how to smuggle on a tentacle creature type deal. I mean, this is, don't get me wrong, it's still fun to watch. All right, there are some good points in this movie. It's just if you're looking for something interesting, this might not be the movie for you. Like I said, if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something of the level of aliens but underwater, you're not going to get that here. This is, like I said, it is. I can recommend about 5 or 6 underwater movies before this one. But if you got 2 hours to kill and some brain cells you want to get rid of, okay, enjoy this movie. But otherwise, I would say give this one a pass. Other than the fact Daniel Stern is in it. I mean, that's comedy already. Daniel Stern and Ernie Hudson are both in this movie, by the way. So yeah. Anyways, you can find it over at Scream Factory. They released it in August of 2014 and gave it the Ultra HD Blu-ray treatment in 2022. All right, that's going to do it for day number 7. We're going to go to day 8 tomorrow and find out what we're doing tomorrow on the Macabre Tavern.